Welcome to the Professor and the Princess. We're your hosts. This is the lovely Randi.
Greetings.
Lovely. I don't know why my voice did that. And I'm Aunrée.
You're lovely too.
Oh, am I?
Sure.
Thank you. That's why I love you, Randi.
It's true.
Exactly. So look, here we talk about, on the Professor and the Princess, we talk about what it really means to be human in a world that is ever evolving. And we're trying to hold on. Right? From culture to tech to identity and emotion, we like to dig deep into how we love, how we struggle, how we grow, and how we try our best to stay grounded in all the noise.
Amen.
And listen, what I love about what we do, especially this season, is that we like to decode cultural change. We lean in. How do we make that happen? And today we're talking about a topic that I love and that sometimes I hate because people are so obsessed with it, but this whole idea of happiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the happiness complex, more specifically, is that I think that we are obsessed with happiness in many ways because people believe that it's a standard way of living and being versus being an opportunity and a moment and you know what I mean? So, I mean, we're told to chase happiness, but what if the chase itself is problematic? I think that's the thing that comes up quite often too.
Oh, for sure.
What is it? I mean, Randi, you are the queen of happiness.
I am?
No, you're not.
Oh, okay, good.
You're the queen of realism, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
But what pops in your mind when we think about this whole happiness conversation?
I think it's just become an industry. You know, it's a marketing thing.
So the capitalism of it all?
I did a little research and like the number of self-help books, people looking to find happiness has quadrupled in the last 15 years.
Crazy.
Because people are searching. And I think the more we get involved in tech, and I don't want to get into a tech because we have other episodes to deal with that, but the more unhappy we become. And so we
Isn't it something?
right? And we search for meaning and purpose, another episode we'll be talking about.
Yeah.
But this quest for happiness has become, it's a big business.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I don't know that it's necessarily coming from the best of places in every instance, right?
Yeah. What do we think? Why do people chase happiness? I mean, look, I get it because I lean into it as well. If I could write a book on happiness, I would, just because I am obsessed with happiness. And I don't know. I think that some of it comes from this place of like, when I was in family crises, meaning like around my family and there was a lot of trauma kind of going on, is that I just wanted people to be happy because I remembered our happy moments. So I think I was kind of trying to bottle it up and like make everyone happy. But as an adult, I understand the balance of the two. But how do you feel about happiness for yourself? I want to get into that. It's not a therapy session. I'm not advertising you.
We had this conversation in season 1.
Yeah.
And I said to you, and I still stand by what I said, is happiness is not a feeling, it's a choice.
You did say that, which I think is controversial.
Well, that's okay. For me, because you asked me how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, happiness is a choice, a very difficult choice that I need to make every day.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as I wake up, I have to decide, is this going to be a happy day or is this going to be a very not happy day? Mm-hmm. And so that's how I look at it. I also think there's a misunderstanding about what it means to be happy. Yeah. And I don't think it's a good thing to be happy all the time at all. I think
that's probably a mental illness
for
people who are happy all the time. They're probably like in bed.
But I also think it's not good for you because just like we've talked about, like that's why the rain in LA is so exciting.
Right.
Because it breaks up the beautiful sunshine of every single day, right?
Yeah.
And so if you were happy and everything was perfect and wonderful every day, you would come to expect that to be the norm. And then anything that came in your way that was not perfect would devastate you. Mm-hmm. So in order to be resilient, in order to be functioning in this world, you have to be able to experience happiness, sadness, joy, misery, all of it. Mm-hmm. And happiness is only one part of it. It's not the whole equation.
I guess that whole idea that too much of a good thing is just not good for you.
Right.
And that whole idea. But I think to take it a bit deeper is that whole idea that people are so miserable, right? And people are miserable in the sense, and I think that misery comes from this place of not accepting the truth about what an experience is, about people not being brave enough to go through bad times and hard times in life, not realizing that's a part of it, and understanding there's a lesson on the other side of it. And this whole obsession with the fact that you want to feel one way, you think you want to feel one way, meaning happy, all the time, right? Whereas you don't grow from that one kind of mindset.
And I think that social media has wildly exacerbated that issue, because when you look at other people's reels or their Instagram or their TikToks or whatever you're looking at, they're all pretty happy. And then you think to yourself, oh, look at all these people who are smiling and laughing and having great times and going to these great places. And I'm sitting home thinking, my life sucks. It really does cast that shadow, I believe.
Yeah.
And you're only seeing a little snippet of that person's life. They're also performing for you. So I think it's made people more unhappy.
Yeah.
And there's been studies done, I'm sure you've seen it as well,
Of course.
that the more time you spend with social media, the more unhappy you are.
Yeah, because
you're looking at a world that's not real.
Moments, right?
Right. And you're also you're judging yourself against that and thinking, well, they're at a party. I'm not. I'm home. They're at this cool new restaurant in New York. I'm home. Like you feel not only FOMO, but you feel unhappy.
Yeah.
So the way to counter that is to write another book about how to be happy and market that.
Exactly.
And then you have a willing audience going, please help me be happy.
Yeah. But I think you have a point, right? Maybe there is something there for you to do, to write this book on the truth of happiness, right? And kind of what that means. Because this is the thing, I'll give you an example, is that I watch people with this whole happiness thing because I've had to manage and regulate my own idea or obsession with happiness and trying to hold on to it for myself, especially when I'm going through a bad or a challenging time in life. And there were two things. I was at an Emmys party and I was watching people take photos, but I was interested in how they would smile and come alive. And then after, like, oh my God, my Spanx, my life,
Right.
So all those things would happen. I was just like, I'm so interested in the BTS and what happens afterwards. I think that I'm maybe obsessed and addicted to misery too, and suffering, which we'll talk about at some point.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of this, like, what's really happening behind the scenes. And then also I'm very interested in watching people make these videos for social media, right? And I watched a girl do the dance and do the thing, and oh my God, I love it here. And then after she cut the camera off, she was like, oh, I'm so fat, I'm so this, I'm so that. And I'm like, oh my God, this happiness is kind of scary. You might not want to be happy all the time, because the other side of it, you have to face that at some point, right? Or just being honest about what kind of happiness is, that it is a moment, no choice.
Well, I mean, look at, you're talking about videos. Look at I for some reason, because I'm technologically incapable.
That is not true.
Well, it is, but I take photos in live mode, and when you hold your finger on it, I see the just what you just said.
Such a point. That's such a good point.
That you start out, I don't want to do this, the fake smile, and then I wish I hadn't done that. In one photo.
But you're marketing something there, right? You're creating something. I'm always into the innovation.
Okay.
But I want to hear the book or whatever, the talk back that you're going to do about, about happiness in live mode. Happiness in live mode. Like you get to see that moment.
You came up with that. It should be you.
No, you did it. I'm just here. We'll argue it down until you do it, right? So happiness in live mode is like you see that moment, but you need to watch the full show. Because she fades quick. She fades very, very quick.
Actually, she only gets happy for 2 seconds. and the bookends of like, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But then also not diluting what true happiness is. What's a time in your life recently where you had a happy moment? What was that? I know I'm giving, you got to think, but.
Well, you said recent. That kind of threw me.
Because you have a few. I'm sure you have a few.
Okay. Last week, I went to see the 50th anniversary of Rocky Horror.
Yes.
With my high school friends.
Amazing.
At the State Theater in New Brunswick, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And first we went to dinner, and then we went to see the movie.
So good.
And I was happy because I was with people who I grew up with, who I don't get to see very often. And we were seeing a movie that brought me right back to being a teenager. And it was fun. It was just purely a happy moment, a happy evening.
Yeah. And do we give credit? Because I think that's the thing about really defining and giving credit to what happiness is.
Well, again, we could argue when we did this in season 1 about the difference between happiness and fun, right?
Yeah.
Because that was a fun night, but I was happy.
Right. So the
So it could
result
be
of
both. Right.
right,
The fun
right.
causes the happiness,
Yeah.
or the lack of fun causes the unhappiness, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just a simple, enjoyable, fun evening that made me happy because I got to be with people that I wanted to be with, and I got to do something that I used to do every Saturday night and haven't done in a theater in probably 40 something years. So that was it.
Oh my God.
What about you?
Oh God, happy moment. Probably my guy and I just driving and having conversations about all the things in life, right? About success, about the challenges, about resilience, like those types of things, maybe the happy moments, right? So I think that what it makes me think too is that we need to reframe our relationship with happiness, right? And treat it as almost this sacred thing that we have these happy moments, some that we choose, like you said, right? But some of them come from experiences that we had. You said you got together with your high school friends. You guys were having fun, and that made me happy.
Right.
Right.
So in other words, moments versus a consistent state of being.
Yeah. Happiness is not a consistent state of being.
Nor
Exactly.
should it be.
Right. Exactly. And don't chase it for that. Treat happiness as what it is.
Enjoy the moments.
It's
right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a mic drop.
But it's true. I mean, when you ask the question about a time when I was happy, I was thinking of something from 26 years ago.
Right.
When my daughter was a little baby and she was so cute and so happy and such a bundle of joy. And I remember
She still is.
I can't hold her in my arms like this anymore. Right. Okay. And, I was just in this moment. My husband was there and we were dancing, and I remember thinking in my brain, remember this moment because you're truly happy. Mm-hmm. So yes, I think you're right. They're glimpses, they're moments, they're not years
not a lifestyle.
that go on and on. Right.
Happiness
it's not
is
a lifestyle.
not a lifestyle, right? And I'm gonna try my best to challenge people and to do this for myself. I'm not gonna ask someone, "Are you happy?" When's the last time you experienced happiness?
Or how are you feeling right now?
Yeah.
And to be honest about it.
And not projecting this whole idea. I think that happiness gets a bad rap because of the way we treat it.
And I also think it's okay to be neutral.
Yeah.
Like, you're not unhappy, but you're not bouncing up and down for joy.
But also, I think that people put pressure on us, too. I mean, my Uncle Donald, I love my Uncle Donald,
Yeah.
right? But when we talk on the phone, Uncle Donald, but it's this thing that he says. He says, like, when you say you're happy, Aunrée, I know you are, because the life you live.
Yeah.
So then I feel pressure to put the pressure on myself to maintain a life of happiness.
For your uncle.
For my uncle. It's not even for me.
No,
right?
no.
Because so then again, we're like bastardizing what happiness is because we're trying to fulfill somebody's expectation or how we want to be seen in the world. And that's not cool. One of the coolest things, one thing that made me happy not too long ago is telling someone when they said to me, Aunrée, how you doing? And I said, I'm well. I'm good. It wasn't, I'm great, I'm fat. Like, it didn't need to be all that shit because it was not true. So it's this whole idea of how can we be authentic? Right. And can authenticity actually be a moment of happiness too?
Maybe. I don't know. I have a friend who, when you say how you doing, his answer every single time was excellent and getting better. Oh. And I would say to him, do you really mean that? And he would say, yes, because if I keep saying it and I keep believing it, it will be true. So that was an effort of using positive reinforcement or I don't want to say manifestation, but to try to bring that level of happiness into his life. There's nothing wrong with that. But is it authentic is the question, right? Is it true happiness or is he just reciting from a script because he thinks it'll make him feel better? I don't know.
Exactly.
But I think it goes back to the point we made about a lot of different topics, which is every one of us shows up to this life with our own stuff. We grow up, we have our own childhood stuff, we have our own baggage, our own trauma. And so how we navigate everything, including happiness, is predicated on all of that history. And so what I would say is happy, you might say, oh, that doesn't sound that great, and vice versa.
Right.
Or you might say to me, look at all the things you have. You should be so happy.
Says who?
Right.
Exactly.
Says you.
Exactly.
But if I don't feel that, it doesn't matter.
Right.
So I think we all need to work on that ourselves, but I do think we need to change the definition and we need to realign reality. I don't think it's meant for us to be happy every day, all the time. Otherwise, we don't appreciate the moments we do get to be happy.
So some of the cultural change moments that we're talking about here is this whole idea of not so much redefining happiness, but understanding the definition of happiness.
Yes.
And understanding that happiness is a choice. It's a moment,
That's
right?
right.
There is no such thing as a happiness lifestyle.
Correct.
Because it just doesn't work that way.
No.
Right? And challenging people to stop chasing happiness. I'm sorry, industry, and sorry to me if I ever write a book on happiness, right? Hopefully the sales don't go down because I'm saying this. But this whole idea of having a different relationship and a more healthy relationship with happiness in order for us to have real moments. Because guess what? Life has its moments. My grandmother used to say life is a bitch. I don't really believe that, but it definitely has some rocky moments.
Oh, yeah.
Lean in because those things are important too. And I think that we should have a book about the whole idea of dealing with the shit. There are books on resilience, etc. But be a warrior, right?
That's right.
Warriors not always happy as they're trying to
Hell no.
kill shit in the world and right, fighting for what they want in life. That's not a happy moment,
Right.
but it's a part of life. And then on the other side of that, you can probably get a little bit of happiness.
Right. And I think if you really do kind of show up with that mentality, maybe you'll be happily surprised.
Listen,
Right?
that's it. That's a mic drop, Randy. I'm leaving the room now. Oh my
But I
gosh.
think we have more to say.
We do?
No. I just want
Until next time. I'm sure we have tons of things.
we always have something more to say.
Because we can attach happiness to so many different things. But I think we wanted to get to the general idea of the complexities of it and redefining it because it's just not fair to happiness.
Yeah, I think it's a realignment of what we've believed up to this point.
Yeah.
And to accept that being neutral and being unhappy are okay.
Yeah.
As long as you embrace, enjoy, and regale in the moments when you have that happiness.
Regale is such a gay word, and that just made me so happy when you said it.
You always tell me I'm a little gay man somewhere deep inside.
It's like regale. I'm happy, and no, I'm not. Oh my God! Thank you so much for tuning into this episode.
Well, now that we've gone off the rails.
Finally. Oh my God. So remember, again, it is so less about the answers and asking more questions. And that's what happened in this conversation here about happiness. There were tons of questions and kind of just diving into them about what happiness means. Because I love happiness. But I don't want it to be, diluted. I hate cheap shit. Until next time, guys, keep watching the world with your eyes wide open.
Au revoir.
So good.